We have to trust the process. We have to trust ourselves. We got to trust God. We have to trust the work that we're putting in order to be the best version of ourselves, man. Like the work that you're putting in today, you got to trust that that's going to pay off tomorrow. And you don't know how it's going to pay off, right? You might be doing something and you don't want to do it because you don't know what it's going to lead up to, but it's part of your story. It's part of who you are. It's part of your origin story, your beginnings, your humble beginnings. You got to trust that process. You know, where you're at today, never judge a man by that. Never judge a man by where he stands. Never even judge yourself by where you stand. Judge yourself off of where you're going, off of who you want to be, off of the direction that you're going into, off of the man that you know that you can become. We live in a world, brother, that a lot of people, they don't believe in themselves anymore. They're not trusting the process. They're not trusting God. And I'm not telling you what to do or what to believe, but I'm telling you, brother, in my own journey, in my personal life, everything that's happened to me in this life, good and bad, prepare me for the moments that I'm in right now. Trust in those moments, trust in those hard times, trusting that I'll overcome has prepared me for the blessings that's about to come into my life. I had to trust myself. I had to trust the process. And it wasn't just me banking on that. I had people around me depending on me, banking on that. And I still do. You know, family that needs me, it's looking up to me. So at the end of the day, man, I just want you guys to believe in yourself and to trust that the work that you're doing will pay off. You know, you have your present self, you have your past self, and you have your future self. Now, your present self is focused on the present moment, which is good. You're focused on what you have to work on and accomplish day by day. But sometimes we get caught up in our past and we're focused on what we did or what we didn't do and who we were and who we weren't and what we could have accomplished and what we didn't. And we get so caught up on the past that we're not focused on our current moment the way that we should be. We're not focused on that current moment more. And sometimes our present self gets caught up in our future. What is it going to look like? It's probably not going to work out. Should I take this risk? And hey, brother, we have one life. We have one opportunity to do this. There's a lot of people that are scared to bet on themselves. It's time for you to go ghost, bro. This is one of the last levels. You know, when it comes to self-improvement, we know who's really self-improving. We know who's really working when you can't even reach them. It's like, man, I'm trying to call my homeboy and I can't even reach him. I'm trying to call my friends. I can't even reach them because they're locked in, because they're really doing the things that they need to do to take their life to the next level. That doesn't mean that you can't call your friends. It doesn't mean you can't contact them. It doesn't mean that you can't talk to anybody. But it just means that you're locked in and you're finally putting your purpose first. You got to just elevate in silence. You don't even have to tell people what you're doing. You're finally just pouring back into you. You're finally giving your life the time and attention that it deserves, that it needs in order for you to elevate. You don't have to explain yourself to nobody. If you don't want to answer that phone call, you don't have to. You can send a message afterwards. Hey, man, I'm just locked in right now. You know, I appreciate you calling. You know, I'm busy right now. I'm busy giving myself time and attention that I need so I could grow, so I can evolve, so I could be the best version of myself, because I know that y'all give so much of yourself to other people. You give so much of yourself to your friends, to your family, to your peers. It's not that you get so caught up in the past instead of just recognizing we can't change it. And we get so caught up in the future instead of just recognizing the things that you do today will prepare you for the future that you want tomorrow. So you have to trust the process. You have to trust yourself, and you have to trust the current moment that you're in this life. You see, brother, if we don't have faith, nothing's going to come into fruition. Nothing's going to actually come into reality. Everything is mental first. You have to believe. And when you believe, you perform better. You do better. And when you do better, you're getting the results that you're looking for. And you have to trust in that process. But there's a lot of people, they don't trust it. And they wonder why, man, why isn't life going my way? Why isn't life becoming how I want it to become? Why isn't life doing this or that? And it's like, you didn't even trust the process to begin with. You didn't have faith in yourself to begin with. You wanted this to end the minute it started. You got to be willing to go through the pain, the fire, the struggle. You got to be willing to go through the You have to be willing to go through the turmoil, the tribulations. You have to be willing to go through those hard times, the difficulties, because you know that that's going to bring you the blessings, the success. That's going to help you reach your goals, your dreams. That's going to help you become the man that you were always meant to become. You know, at the end of the day, brothers, we're warriors, man. We are meant to be kings. We're meant to lead. We're meant to be the best version of ourselves, but we won't be any version if we don't believe in ourselves. A lot of people, brother, they only move when they believe that they can move. They only move when they believe that they see all that's coming. You know, everybody wants to see the whole staircase. Nobody wants to walk in the dark. You know, everybody wants to know what's going to happen next. Is there security? Is there safety? And nobody's willing to take that risk, that opportunity, and create that security and safety for themselves. Nobody's really willing to do that. So even in my personal life, when I tell people my plans, they look at me and they say, are you sure that's going to work? Of course I'm not sure, but I'm still going to take that risk anyways. I'm still going to take that chance because I'm going to bet on myself and I'm going to trust the process. And brother, it's been working and I'm grateful. I'm beyond grateful. We have to trust the process, man. Trust in the process, trust in yourself, trust in God, knowing that everything will work out in the end. It'll all work out in the end. We're so focused on things not going.
You don't love them. It's not that you don't want to check up on them, but right now it needs to be you and God. You have to figure out your life. You have to figure out what direction you want to go into. You have to figure out your passion, your purpose. You have to get that clarity that you need. And in order to get that clarity, it has to be you and God. It can't be you and everybody else. Sometimes you have to separate yourself from the world so you can find out who you are again. Sometimes you have to refocus, regroup, rebrand yourself. You have to go through the journey of darkness so you can find yourself again. You got to go through hell so you can find the light that's within you. Going through these tough times, this darkness. A lot of y'all going through that already. And you making it harder to find the answers that you need, because every time you're supposed to be diving deep into your heart, into who you are, figuring out how you could get out of this mess, talking to God and connecting with him, you on the phone all day. You on social media all day. You keep distracting yourself. So when I say go ghost, I mean cut off the distractions once and for all. Focus on you once and for all. Focus on the things that you need to focus on once and for all. The distractions is just temporary pleasure. It's taking you away from your purpose. It's taking you away from finding who you need to be. That's what it's there for. It's there to distract you. It's there to distract you from diving deeper into finding out the person that you need to be, the man that you need to be, becoming the man that you need to be. Because the truth is, you already know that you need to be purpose driven. You already know that you need to be locked in. You already know that you need to be focused. You already know that you need to be disciplined. So what's stopping us from being
all right now? But the work that you put in right now is so you can have a better life tomorrow. You have to trust your efforts, brother. You have to trust your efforts, brother. You have to trust that the work that you're putting in right now is going to create the life that you want tomorrow, brother. You have to trust that it's going to pay off, because it will. Everything will work out in the end, but nothing's going to work out if you don't trust that process. You know, when we go through tough times, man, it's just a test. You know, let me put this purpose-driven man through trials and tribulations. That's what God's saying. That's what life's saying. Let me put this purpose-driven man, let me put this warrior, let me put this king through trials and tribulations, because you can't just call yourself a king and not go through the difficulties. You can't just call yourself a warrior and not have any battles. You can't just call yourself a man and not go through this thing that we call life, this experience, which comes with its own ups and downs, which comes with its own trials and tribulations. You know, once you make it through and once you survive those things and thrive past those things, yeah, you really are that dude. You really are that guy. You really are a king, royalty, because those things aren't easy to overcome, but we're still putting in the work to overcome it because we trust the process. We're still doing what we got to do every single day, even if we can't see the whole staircase, bro, because we trust the process. We're still putting in the work no matter what, Because we trust the process and we trust that it's all going to work out in the end. And if it didn't work out, then it's not the end. Brother, it will all work out in the end. The problem is we're trying to put measuring tape on it. We're trying to measure time. We're trying to measure when is it going to work. We're trying to measure life, and you can't do that. You got to work for the life that you want. You got to show up each and every day, and the results will come, but you have to keep working. The results will come overnight. That's what it'll feel like.
Those things, what's stopping us from embodying discipline and consistency? It's the distractions. We always on the phone. We always entertaining people. When we gonna entertain ourselves? When we're gonna lock in for us? When are we gonna do what we need to do in order to elevate? When are we gonna focus on ourselves? A lot of you guys are scared to focus on yourselves. A lot of y'all are scared to do the things that you need to do in order to bring you to the next level. Y'all scared to do the things that you need to do in order to bring you to the next level. Right? See, life is happening for you. It's not happening to you. So when life is happening for you, it's giving you the experiences that you need to take your life to the next level. But you keep distracting yourself instead of doing the things that you need to do. You need to do that. You need to go to the gym. You need to be fit. You need to work out. You need to take your 10K steps, 20K steps. I just took 20K steps today. That's not a flex. That's not a brag. I just want to show y'all. I want to be the proof. Show y'all right now. Let me take my watch off. I want y'all to see that. Because I'm never going to tell y'all to do something that I'm not doing. Let's see if we could get it to focus. Right? 20K steps. Okay? I'm never going to tell y'all to do something that I'm not doing. I want to see y'all step. I want to see y'all get to walking. I want to see you live your best life. But it's going to take some discipline, some consistency. It's going to take you going ghost. You don't got to explain to nobody. You just got to explain it to yourself and understand why you're doing it. You're doing it so you can evolve. You're doing it so you can grow. You're doing it so you can be the best version of yourself. Keep that in mind as you continue this journey of self-improvement, as you continue to work hard, as you continue to go ghost and elevate your life. Sometimes you have to go ghost to elevate your life. You keep telling people your plans, I'm planning to go to the gym and work out. What can that do for you? Nobody else is going to keep you accountable. A lot of y'all want a gym partner. And then the gym partner start flaking on you. So I'm not saying sharing your goals is a bad thing or having a gym partner is a bad thing. I'm just saying that I don't want you guys to become dependent on these things. A lot of people are dependent on their gym partner to show up and motivate them. Why? You got to go to the gym because you know you got to go to the gym. It's important when you go ghost, man. You start to recognize, man, I haven't been giving myself the attention that I need to so I can elevate. I say that I love myself, but I don't practice self-discipline. I say that I love myself, but I'm not there for myself. Right? You have to be there for yourself. You say you love yourself, bro. That's self-discipline. That's showing up for yourself. That's all about being consistent. Being consistent for your goals and being consistent for your dreams. Sometimes you just got to go ghost because this environment that you're in right now and the people that you're hanging around right now is not going to help you elevate to the next level. Sometimes you just got to go ghost. You just got to leave the distractions. You just got to leave that environment. And it has to be you and God. And you're going to come out stronger. You're going to come out better. Sometimes you just got to do it.
I mean by that is it's going to come at a time that you don't know. It's going to come at a time that you... Oh, snap. It's going to come at a time that you don't know. It's going to come at a time that you couldn't even predict. And you have to be ready for that. It's part of the journey. You can't predict when it's all going to pay off, but you got to know that it will pay off. You got to know that it will work. See, it's only going to work, though, if you trust the process. It's only going to work, brother, if you're locked in. It's only going to work if you're doing the things that you know that you have to do in order to live a better quality of life. It's only going to work if you sacrifice today for a better tomorrow. It's only going to work if you trust the work that you're putting in today is going to pay off next year, 5 years, 10 years from now. Trust that. Trust the energy you putting in. Trust the faith that you have. Trust the work that you putting in. Trust it. There's not a lot of people that that trust that. There's not a lot of people that think that it's going to work out in the end because you've been through so much turmoils and tribulations. You know, we had so much failure in life that we think we just going to keep failing. At a certain point, I thought that was me. I'm like, man, I done failed so much. You know, I don't know when I'm going to succeed. I done been through so much downfalls. I don't know when I'll have my glory days. You know, I done had opportunities ripped out of my chest that I know I could have done great in, but I wasn't even given the chance. Like, when is it going to be my time to shine? But you have to keep trusting that process, brother. Your time is coming. I'm not no fortune teller, but I'm a human being living this experience with you, living this thing that we call life. And I promise you it gets better if you believe it gets better. Everything is a mindset. And your outlook on life, man. How you perceive life. There's a lot to be grateful for that we're just not grateful for. Food, water, shelter, life itself, being around loved ones. There's a lot to be grateful for, brother. And we got to learn to be grateful for those things, because those things could be taken away from us at any moment. You know? If you don't even appreciate the life that you have now, how can you work towards a better life? You have to appreciate the life that you have now.
You know, I love going ghost, man. I love just focusing on the things that I love to do. I need it. Because I promise y'all, can't nobody do the work for me. Right? And if I don't love myself, it doesn't matter how much love somebody else gives me. Okay, I gotta love myself first. I gotta take care of myself. Right? Nobody can be disciplined for me. Nobody can be consistent for me. These are things that I need to do for me. And the problem is, when we don't go ghost, we like to put these things on other people. Oh, it's so-and-so's fault. Right? When we're not going ghost from time to time, we like to point fingers and say, it's that person's fault why my life looks the way it does. Instead of taking full accountability and responsibility for the way that our life looks. But when you go ghost, it's all on you. You're focused on your life, so you realize that this is your life. You're responsible for your life. You have to be accountable for your life. You realize that you can't depend on the gym partner to get the work done. You have to go to the gym. You have to want it bad. You have to go out there and put the work in. You have to want to take those 10,000 steps a day, 20,000 steps a day, whatever it is. You have to want to do those things, man. You. Nobody else can do it for you. Nobody else. You start to realize that once you go ghost. Once you go ghost, you realize you have to show up for you. You have to put the work in for your life. You have to do what's best for you. And I'm telling y'all, the problem is a lot of us are not doing that. A lot of us, we're waiting on other people to help us out, to bail us out, to inspire us, to motivate us. We got to have that fire within ourselves. We got to motivate ourselves. We got to wake up and go hard each and every day. We got to be consistent. We got to be disciplined. And you learn a lot of these things when you go ghost, man. When you go ghost, you start to realize, okay, who's going to check up on me? Who's going to check up on me? Nobody want me to go ghost, right? Nobody want me to go ghost. Who's going to actually check up on me? Who's going to make sure? You start to realize a lot of people not going to check up on you. All the people that you thought was your friends, all the people that you thought cared about you, they're not picking up the phone to call you. So now you start to figure out who.
So God can see that and grant you more blessings. So life can see that and say, hey, he deserves more out of life. Because he's already grateful for the life that he does have. People see that. People see when you're grateful, they're going to want to give you opportunities because you are grateful for the opportunities that you do have. You're grateful for the life that you do have. And they're going to want to bless you with more. It's just the truth. There's a lot of people that they're not grateful for opportunities. They're not grateful. But I'm grateful for everything. I'm grateful for the success and the not so successful moments. I'm grateful for the ups and I'm grateful for the downs. I'm grateful for the good and I'm grateful for the bad. I'm grateful for the positives and I'm grateful for the negatives. I'm grateful for it all because, like I said earlier in this video, all of it has shaped me into the man that I am today. And the same with you. The positives and the negatives, the good and the bad, the ups and the downs, the light and the dark has shaped you into who you are today, forcing you to grow and become the man that you are. You can't get one without the other. You can't get positive without negative. Opposites attract. That's life. That's duality. It's night right now. And in a couple hours, it's going to be daytime. That's life. We can't get away from that. That's what it is. That's what we signed up for. That's the reality that we live in. Brothers, it's time for us to lock in. It's time for us to lock in. It's time for us to lock in. And it's time for us to appreciate life. It's time for us to be grateful for life. It's time for us to appreciate the process that we're going through. Appreciating the journey. Appreciating our story, knowing that our story is what we're building here. You're building a story.
Who's really with you? And of course it could be vice versa, right? But this really works when you're the main one calling. If you're the main one calling or reaching out and you finally go ghost because you putting yourself first, you start to realize who really cares about you, right? I think that's really important. You start to realize who really gives a damn about you. Okay, who's really calling you? Who's really checking up on you when you go ghost? Right? That's a fair question, and you deserve your answers. Go see who your real brothers are. Go and see who your real brothers are, man. You got to understand this one fact in life. There's nothing that we can do about how other people treat us or if other people are there for us or not. But there's everything that we can do within our own lives to make our own lives 1% better each day. That's a fact. We can't change other people's opinions or perspectives. We can't change how they think of us. It's us. We have to be the ones to put the work in, to look in the mirror, to go monk mode, to go ghost, to self-improve. We have to put that work in for ourselves. We can't do the work for other people. We can't control other people, and vice versa. They can't do the work for us. They can't. We have to do the work for once. That's just what it is, bro. That's just what it is, bro. We got to put the work in, man. So you could either keep doing the same habits that you're doing right now and keep getting the same results, or you can choose to go ghost and see where that brings you. It's only going to bring you, here's a secret, closer to your purpose. It's only going to bring you closer to your goals. It's only going to help you be laser focused and locked in.
And no story starts with you having everything. Page 1, he had everything. No, that's not how these things work. No, Batman, page 1, he lost both his parents. Oh, man. Oh, that's tragic. That's tragic. Superman's planet gets blown up into bits. And he's the last remainder of his type. And they drop him down in Kansas so he could live on. Wow, that's tragic. Not only is Superman's parents gone, but his whole planet is gone. And he'll maybe never meet anyone that's like him in his whole life. They dropped him on another habitable planet. Okay. Spider-Man loses his auntie. And in the older novels, in the older comics, he loses his uncle. Which means he lost both his parents because his uncle and auntie had to step up. Oh, that's tragic. That's truly tragic. through tragedy, man. That's where superheroes are born. So I know we've all been through something tragic, no matter what level. We're not going to sit here and have the victim Olympics. Everyone has had a difficult life. Everyone has had a difficult story in their own ways. Whether you were born into money or not, whether you were born into success or not, we all have our own struggles. And you're still standing today. You're still here today. Why? Because deep down, you believe in better days. Deep down, you understand that you have to trust the process. You have hope that tomorrow can be better. But all I'm trying to help you guys recognize is that tomorrow will be significantly better. And that will be more of a guarantee that it will be better if you remain purpose-driven and do the things that you know that you have to do so you can live the life that you want. Do the things that you know that you have to do in order to build success, in order to build that discipline, in order to build consistency, in order to get that legacy, in order to take care of the people that you love. You have to put in the work. You have to do things that are uncomfortable. You have to get out of your comfort zone. And you have to, most importantly, you have to trust the process, brother. You have to trust the process, brother. If you received this message today, in the comment section, if you watched up to this point, I would appreciate, and your future self would appreciate, if you write, I trust the process. Trust the process, brother. Things will get better. It will all be better in the end. You know why? Because today you're working your hardest to put in the work and reap the harvest in the end later on. And for that, I'll be the first to say, I'm so proud of you and I love you and I appreciate you guys. Let's continue to be great. Peace.
I use this multiple times a year where I'm not really posting. Now, obviously on YouTube, I post all the time, but it might be videos scheduled because I need to take care of me. It's okay to go ghost. It's okay to lock in. It's okay to not post. It's okay. It's okay to not know what's going on in the world. That's another thing. The news try to slow you down. It could slow you down. It's important to know the news, but sometimes you just gotta, let me focus on my life. There's always gonna be news. Yes, it's important to stay up to date. Maybe take 5 minutes, see what's going on in your area just so you can be safe. See what's going on in your country just so you know what's going on. But after that, man, you gotta have peace. You gotta have rest. You gotta go ghost. Because once you have a peace of mind, then you can lock in on a whole nother level. This is so underrated. Most people never really lock in because they don't have a peace of mind. They don't have a peace of mind. Their mind is always going all over the place. Oh, right? Oh, I'm thinking about this. I'm thinking about that. Well, you need to be thinking about your goals and dreams. You need to be thinking about your purpose. You need to be locked in. But that's a choice. Going ghost is a choice. Most people don't want to go ghost. They want to stay up with the trends. They want to keep up with their friends, right? They want to talk on the phone all day. I'm not saying that that's a bad